I first met Mr. Millar on the first day of school in grade 9. This was, 2004. He just strolled into our homeroom, introduced himself, gave someone detention, and walked out.
I remember him walking into the classroom as well, our homeroom, and he gave us the look, the up and down look, and he checked the uniform and shouted at us and walked out.
I was very impressed by Mr. Millar. I was like, whoa.
Like, he means business.
Yeah, this guy is the business.
I walked into his office one day, having to hand in my marks, and I was reading what I have on today, and not knowing what soccer team he supports, I was chased out of his office.
The first time I ever met him, I was quite scared, to be honest. It was a case of trying to be the person that I was hoping to be.
I'm going to tell you a secret now that I've held for the last 7 years. But when I first met you, you were standing outside the school in a pair of jeans, and I thought you were the groundsman of the school, the grounds manager. You can imagine my surprise when you said you were the principal. And I'll never forget you had crocodile skin shoes, and I called you Slangfell.
I was a teacher rep of the governing body, and I was on the selection committee. So we had all these interviews to conduct in the library. And I remember this person coming in, dressed very nicely, walked around the room, shook everyone's hand. And I looked at this and I thought, short man, red hair, hier kom moeilijkheid.
Wow, how can I describe Mr. Millar? Very difficult. I admire him and respect him, and I respect his incredible work that he's done in education.
What comes to mind is his passion for teaching, his passion, his love for the kids, that sheer willpower at times as well, following through, getting the job done.
Mr. Millar as a person, as we know him, he is loud, he is out there, he does not shy away from controversial issues. This zest for life and this in-your-face, passionate personality, it's been quite infectious, and it has infected the staff and it's infected the students, and so now we all exist in this environment where we are striving constantly to be excellent, to not be mediocre.
He's been an incredibly loyal friend, he's been an incredibly supportive friend. He's always been there for me through my hard times, and he's always been celebrating with me in my happy times.
I think his perseverance speaks to me quite a bit, and the learners that I teach. The fact that he's always on your case, always pushing you to do better, to be better. And not just for us as teachers and as learners, but his admin staff, the ground staff, everyone he pushes. And sometimes you feel like you can't take it, but that's when you need to actually just push even harder.
Just the way he interacts with his staff, professionally, but also being mindful that there are moms, dads.
But the thing I love the most about Mr. Millar is the fact that sometimes he's wrong, and very often he finds it hard to admit he's wrong, but most times he's prepared to admit when he's wrong and make changes, and I think that that's what makes him very progressive.
But also being difficult at times, wanting to be right all the time. Oh yes, and that love for you, Man United? No.
He wasn't just worried about your mind and your soul, but also your physical activity. And there was a time in my life when I was a little bit bigger, considerably, and I walked into the office. I was talking to Mrs. Skeepers, and he walked out of the class, and I'll never forget this. He walked out of his office and he looked at me and said, "Carl, you're getting a bit fat." And at first I was a bit shocked and hurt, but I also realized it came from a good place, because that was one of the motivations to help me lose weight. And I won't forget it, because I realized, in the beginning I thought it was rude, but I realized that he meant it from a good place and he was concerned.
I think it possibly was my second or third year here, and he sent an email to the staff on that particular day to say that he'd accepted a position somewhere else and he would be leaving at the end of the month or the next month or whatever. And I was absolutely devastated. I sat in my office and I held my eyes out, and my friends were comforting me, and I was so upset that now I was here and everything was going great and he was leaving. Suffice it to say, a couple of periods later, I can't remember if it was the end of the day or if it was possibly second break, he called all the staff into the staff room, proceeded to tell us it was an April Fool's joke, and then had the audacity in the cheek to give some people monkeys and I got a banana for being, a monkey for believing.
Mr. Millar has been threatening for the past, I don't know how many years, that he's going to parade around in front of us wearing a leopard print G-string, and that has not yet happened.
And that has happened since our first, in grade 9, we had a swimming garden.
For the first time ever.
And and since that day, he's been threatening to be parading around in that outfit.
No,
or lack of an outfit.
I have not seen the butt cheeks. And now that he's leaving.
I don't want to see it.
He still has to wear his leopard skin G-string or whatever the case may be. I don't think that's going to happen.
Thank goodness I've been spared the absolute nightmare of seeing you mincing down Wynberg Main Road in your leopard print G-string. It's given me sleepless nights. It's destroyed the motherboard in my brain. So thank goodness we were spared that.
Hopefully I will still be able to see you on the running field, and hopefully next time you will be able to beat me instead of me beating you as I did the other day in the 15k run, and I was a whole 7 minutes faster than you. But if you keep practicing, then maybe your time will be better than me for the 21k.
I will never forget at the first swimming gala, Mr. Millar decided to get dressed as a Smurf. And he wasn't quite sure what to do with the Smurf pants, whether to wear tights over or whether to wear the pants under or whatever, but in the end he looked like a Smurf with an enormous white nappy on.
David has definitely impacted on my life. I don't think I would be where I am right now if I hadn't been given this opportunity, and David has always supported me 110% in the work that I do with regards to children. I always felt that I could step out of the box sometimes, particularly in very stressful cases, because I always knew that I had the support of David. That was my safety net.
He was my mentor. He taught me many things in terms of how I as a leader can grow.
He's encouraged me to do my speaking. I didn't think when I came to the school that I would be having to speak sometimes to 700, 800, 1,000 people. And David always pushed me gently or nudged me gently into that position.
When I came to meet with you to find out what to do when I wanted to become a teacher again, you gave me the chance to follow my dreams and do part-time teaching.
He had a huge influence, on my family in terms of support. That's the type of person he is. He involves himself with everything, with your family. Behind my back, he used to email my wife. Now that sounds cool, But it shows interest if my health was bad.
I wish you the best for what's next for you. I know it's definitely going to be a success no matter where you end up. And you've got the backing of the biggest fan base in the world. So thank you from the bottom of my heart for the person that you've helped me become, and for all the people that you don't even know you've touched. I think this is also a thank you from them.
That's a tough question. How am I going to feel when he leaves after the last staff meeting? I suppose mixed emotions. Selfishly, probably I wish he'd stay. But on the other hand, I know that life moves on, and he's always been destined for great things. But excitement, I like change, I like a new challenge, I like what's lying in wait for Norman Henshilwood High School, and continue building on what he has accomplished here. And of course we bask in the glory, because he is after all our David Millar that is now Director North.
Mr. Millar will leave a legacy that will be very, very hard to break, I think, at Normie's. As a person, he is inimitable. There will only ever be one Mr. Millar. And I think even those future generations of Normie's learners, they'll come to know of him as though he's their principal. Because we all embody some sort of characteristic from Mr. Millar. At Normie's, the minute you step through these doors, you belong to David Millar, and whether you like it or not, his good influence will rub off on you, and your life will be forever changed. So I don't think that in any way Normies or the schooling community could forget Mr. David John Millar.
Wow, it's something very difficult to think about, and I think it's because I haven't thought about it, because I don't really want to think about it. I think I'm going to be incredibly sad, and I think I've just blocked it out of my mind for the time being. I know he's going to be leaving in 6 weeks' time, and I know the school is going to change, could be for the better, but I do know that when he walks out that door, part of me is going to be leaving, and it's going to take me a while to come back to Norman Henshilwood, and to think about coming back in the second term knowing that I'm not going to see the little white mini parked in the principal's car park.
Now let's see what happens when we mix these two elements together.